We have an update on the Drake and UMG lawsuit. So it looks like a judge decided against Drake and said that this was not defamation, that it was lyrics in a rap song that were hyperbolic and therefore were not defamatory. Drake, of course, immediately appeals. And so that means that the final verdict is still up in the air, even though it's not looking really good for him. It looks like they then got a mediation date for December 19 or something, yes, where they will probably try and settle the case because the appeal could drag this out for another year or two, and nobody really wants that. But if he meets that test and the court is still saying there's implications to this, what do you guys think that means?
Really mean rap battle kind of mean in my music to another artist or whatever. Defamation or not, that's a big deal because whether we like it or not, that culture currently exists and would be greatly impacted by if we ruled on if it could or could not continue to exist.
Exactly. Yeah, that was really well put. So in law, we often call this the floodgates argument. In a common law system, when you decide a case, anybody in that jurisdiction can pick up that case and use it as law to argue their case. That means that if you make a decision to say a lyric in a rap song entitles you to millions of dollars, the analogy is you open up the floodgates for a million other lawsuits of everybody that's been insulted in a rap song, holding up that case as precedent, saying, I deserve money too. And so the courts are always balancing that individual's rights and what's fair in that case, while also protecting the law more broadly and making sure that we're not creating what we call bad law that's counterproductive to the purpose of the courts, and would burden the courts with way too many cases. I think another factor at play in these celebrity cases is that there's laws put in place to essentially deter very resource affluent people from using the law to their advantage, because as Drake can afford as many lawyers and as many lawsuits as he wants, and the average person cannot, we want to avoid those people with a lot of resources being able to just bring the hammer down and in any situation that they want just because they can afford to have a lawsuit. And so there's a lot of things about this case that, you know, while might be meritorious for just the definition of defamation or the spirit of defamation, as you might argue if you were his lawyer, the decision itself would have a lot of implications that would be negative for the law and the courts more broadly, in my opinion. And so here, them going to probably settle in mediation privately is how most of these things go, and also doesn't set that bad precedent like we were talking about.